Hello dear students, this is Nitin Kumar Mengi, Assistant Professor, University Institute of Media Studies, Chandigarh University. And today's topic is different file formats of image. Okay, so let's start. Now when you take a photograph, the camera is capturing data which creates a digital image. But there are many different types of image file formats that can be retrieved and editing using post-processing software. But the most commonly used formats are just like JPEG, which is Joint Photographic Experts Group. Other one is TIFF, which is a tagged image file format. The other one is RAW, and DNG, which is digital negative format. Then PNG, which is portable network graphics. The other one is GIF, graphics interchange format. BMP, which is bitmap image file. And last but not the least, PSD, which is a Photoshop document. Now the choosing the right file format is important and can even be critical depending on the level of quality and the level of post-processing that you can require. Now to help you better understand the different file formats and to ensure that you pick the right file format for your needs, I have put together this comprehensive lecture which covers the pros and cons of using each image file format, so that by the time you are finished, you'll be able to select the perfect file format in case. We'll start with the JPEG. Now JPEG is probably the best known of all image file formats, and it's what many cameras use as default output, even your mobile phone. Right. So the thing you should remember is that JPEG files are compressed in camera and thus result in a loss of detail and quality. They are essentially set up to store as many as image on the memory card as possible. Some cameras will have option for different JPEG level or JPEG quality levels, that is low, medium and high. The better the photo quality, the less compression the camera will perform on the original photograph. Right, and most of the cameras these days you'll get these options. And generally speaking, JPEG should be used when the photos are for personal use or for social media, albums and small prints, and are not intended for large prints. Okay, so when you don't intend to enhance or edit the photos that is in post-production. Now for sharing images via email, this is another option for JPEG. What are the benefits of JPEG? The small file means more images can be stored on a single memory card. Okay, this is one benefit of a JPEG, and quicker file transfer times due to smaller file. It is because of the smaller size, so it can send quickly. Now there are some negative aspects also of JPEG, which is loss of quality due to image compression. Okay, because the size of file is quite compressed by the camera, so you may lose the quality. Okay, and the less opportunity for image manipulation in photo editing software. So if you want to do the image editing or image manipulation, you have to have good number of pixels in which you can do the image composting, image manipulation or digital manipulation. Now let's move to the other file format, which is TIFF. Now TIFF is commonly used in the photography industry. It's generally requested by publishers. Even if the end file format will be a JPEG, the initial file is often a TIFF format. TIFF files are usually uncompressed, so they offer the opportunity for extensive or post-processing. And because TIFF are uncompressed, they are much bigger files and will take up a lot of space both on your memory card and on your computer also. Okay, so some cameras offer a TIFF as their highest quality image file format. Okay, now what are the benefits of TIFF? Its ability to manipulate photos extensively in editing software, in which in JPEG we don't have this option to print at the highest quality and at a much larger in size. And the negative of TIFF format is much bigger file, so more storage is needed. Okay, you need to have good storage even in your memory card and your system. Longer transfer and loading times due to file. You require good internet speed for that. Even then it will take huge time. So let's move to the other file format, that is RAW. Now RAW files are generally available on advanced compact DSLRs. Okay, DSLR which is having the latest technology, they are having DSLR or mirrorless camera, you can have RAW image file format. Simply put, RAW is the best option. So if you want to get the highest quality files from your camera, and it's the option preferred by the professional photographers also, right? So if you don't use RAW files, then your camera will make adjustments automatically on your images, and these will be permanently embedded into your photos. Okay, then you'll get it these settings in JPEG also, and even in TIFF format also. So RAW files are created using a process that retains all the information originally captured. This means that adjustments such as white balance, exposure, contrast, saturation, sharpness, and exposure, so that all can be altered in image editing software after the photo has been taken. Photographing in RAW file format requires plenty of memory cards. Not to mention considerable post-processing time, it also requires some basic knowledge of image editing software such as Adobe Lightroom, because files will have to be edited and converted out of the RAW format. So before they can use, that is shared online, printed, sent to friends. So you have to have the knowledge of Photoshop or image editing software if you want to use RAW file format. Now what are the benefits of RAW file format? The highest quality image is captured. This is first. Extensive options in post processing. Okay, so even there are some negative also. Significant time is needed to convert and edit your photos. You must edit RAW file, otherwise you can't see it. Okay, and bigger file require more storage and longer. Just like TIFF format, it require a lot of image storage, preferably. Now the other file format, which is DNG, that is called digital negative. Just about every camera these days use a different property for format to capture RAW files. Even cameras from the same manufacturer will often use different formats, which means image editing software must be able to read files from all of these different cameras. So as a result, editing software providers face a challenge how to manage and continuously provide updates for their program so it can read all these different file formats. Now these file format created by Adobe is an attempt to provide a standard RAW file for all manufacturers and cameras. Now the DNG is offered as a main RAW file format or as an alternative to the manufacturer's native RAW format. One of the problem with the keeping images in the original RAW format is that several years from now you may be unable to access these files because they are specific to cameras and manufacturer. This is the major problem. The benefits of DNG file: ability to use image processing software such as Lightroom and Photoshop. The other one is possibly the safer option long term because it guards against the inability to open or access files in the future. On the other side, we are having negative also for DNG. That is extra time needed to convert camera RAW files to DNG if your camera does not have the option to create files in this format. The other option is PNG. Now PNG is designed in the 90s as an improvement on the GIF file format. PNG files are ideal for use on the interest, and PNG are compressed in a lossless format and therefore retain all details. But unlike other file formats, PNG quality doesn't mean a big file, and this is useful on the internet because you need pages to load quickly. Okay. The other benefits of PNG files is that they allow for partial and total transparency, which is ideal for overlays and logos. Now, what are the benefits of PNG file? Again, lossless compression makes for good image quality, which isn't compromised when editing, which is a very good, positive aspect of this file format. The other aspect is the ability to maintain transparency, which is important for graphics such as overlays and logos. And the negative points of PNG is that quality is not good enough for printing at any level. Okay, and the other file format that is GIF. Like PNGs, GIF are ideal for use on the internet. Lossless compression means image quality is not sacrificed, and like PNGs, GIF offer the ability to maintain transparency again. Okay, so it is used for animation purpose. Now, however, the limitation of GIF files is that they can only contain a maximum of 256 colors. Therefore, GIF are not the best choice for the photos, but rather for images with a limited color palette. You can use GIF then. Now, the benefit of GIF are the small files makes GIF files ideal for use on the web, and also files can contain animation. Okay, the negative points of GIF is that again the limited colors make a GIF a poor choice for photos. The other one is GIFs don't support partial transparency like drop shadows in editing. Okay, now let's talk about BMP, another lossless file format. The BMP was invented by Microsoft initially for the use on the Windows platform. However, BMPs are now recognized by programs on Macs as well. So BMPs are large files as color data is saved in each individual pixel without any compression. So that is a good thing. As a result, BMPs provide a high quality digital file which is great for use in print but not ideal for the web. Now, what are the benefits for BMP? It can be used for printing as the images are high quality. But the negative thing is that the large file means a lot of storage is required. Okay, so last not the least, that is PSD. PSD is file type which that is name of Adobe Photoshop, extension file of Adobe Photoshop, uses as a default to save data. The big advantage of the PSD is that it allows for manipulation on specific individual layers rather than on the main image itself. So this makes PSD absolutely essential for any sort of extensive manipulation of the original photograph, such as retouching. So PSDs give far greater flexibility and the ability to fine-tune an image, because layers can be added, removed or edited at any time without affecting the original photograph. But remember, once a layered PSD file is flattered, this essentially merges all the layers. It can't be undone. So make sure, if you want to save your file as a PSD before flattening, if there's any chance you might want to rework some of the layers later soon, maybe depend upon the Photoshop, it may not be available for you. Now the benefits of PSD, which that is ability to manipulate the image extensively on separate layers. Once the image is ready, it can be resaved as any other file format, which is a fantastic aspect of PSD file format. Now the negative aspect of PSD is layered files can be incredibly large in due to all of the additional data they store. Okay, so image file formats conclusion is, now that you have finished this topic, you know all the common image file types. Okay, professional photographers generally capture in raw file format even if the file needed as a JPEG. They convert those files into DNGs, then edit in software such as Photoshop or Lightroom or maybe any other software, right? But as you can see, choosing the right file format when capturing the original photo, then choosing the right file format when saving the photo later is absolutely essential. So dear students, you have learned the different file formats of photography which is used in photography. So I hope this lecture is helpful for you, and now you can choose the best file formats whenever you are using a DSLR camera or your mobile phone camera or any other camera. Thank you so much.